It's the AR take back. Drop 'em in the box, drop 'em in the box, drop 'em in the box. When them pills try to get at you, drop 'em in the box, drop 'em in the box, drop 'em in the box. Don't leave 'em on the countertop. Drop 'em in the box, drop 'em in the box, drop 'em in the box. No cure for disease of addiction, but our best bet is to start with prevention. What? Did you see? I don't know about anybody else, Chris, but when that video's on, I hit that old school Snoop Dogg dance. It's like, you're muted. You're unmuted now. I did it for you, and you just remuted yourself.
I unmuted it. All right, I'm back.
And what's up, my man?
I'm good. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and who will be tuning in. We've got Lindsey Jackson. Good morning to you as well, Sunshine.
Hey.
Skelton, out on the road today, doing the good work of a peer recovery specialist.
Uh-huh.
You know a little bit about that, don't you, Jimmy?
I know a little bit about it. I see Kyle Brewer and Ashley and Edith and Joshua Robbins.
Kyle Brewer's trying to sneak in here, get a little peek on what's going on today. We're glad he's here.
Yeah.
Morning to you.
Okay. Well, we got, man, listen, Chris, tell them folks, what's up, Lisa Sutherland? If you haven't already went and liked this page, y'all need to do that. You need to share it and go the extra mile. Invite your friends to come like the page. Share the page. Make a post. We just want to show people that recovery is possible. Me and Chris was a hot mess. Like, this dude got on a bus drunk thinking he was going to go sell a house and accidentally ended up in Arkansas. Now he runs a treatment center. How you do that?
Hey, that's the best way. I'm going to steal that from you. That's my own story, but I love how you just said that.
I'm just saying.
Jumped on a great Greyhound bus one way to Miami, Florida. Man, I had those big dreams. And with no follow through. I knew how to sabotage myself. My mom always used to call me an underachiever, that I would always get into the losing proposition of things.
Yeah.
Leslie, Lesia, I don't know how to say your Miss Sutherland. We're glad you're here. Raising the roof on us. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Hey, Natasha, hello. Oh.
Hello. Oh, that's a new thing, Chris. You add O on everything. My name's not Jimmy anymore. It's Jimmy O.
It's the way to be, dramatic.
And
dramatic.
You're Chris O. Yeah. You're not old. You're old. Oh. Let me quit being goofy.
I'm a youngster.
You are. You're the 40 under 40. You know what I mean?
Hey, Sherry. Good morning to you as well. We're so glad you're here. Hey, so let's check in, everybody, now that we've got some people in here. How's everybody doing? I read a report recently, and I was talking to Jimmy about, on a more serious note, that, a lot of people are worried that America's going to go through this economic depression, and I'm not going to talk about that. I don't have any opinions. I do, but not for this. What I want to talk about is a different depression. A report came out where a large percentage of Americans are facing some symptoms of depression. And so we want to check in with you and ask you how you're doing. And, remember that this is a public chat, but we do want you to feel comfortable enough and vulnerable enough to be able to share in here and feel the love of the recovery community. So Jimmy, we'll start with you. How are you doing?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. Life's full of ups and downs. I miss church. I miss my meetings. But other than that, I'm good, man. I've been doing some mental health stuff. I've been running. Like, I ran 4.5 miles yesterday.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So I walk a little, I run a little, walk a little, run a little. How are you doing?
Well, I'm one of the persons who has went through some depression. At the beginning of the pandemic, I found myself, isolating. I mean, everybody was at home on quarantine orders, and I saw myself withdrawing. And one of the reasons why we wanted to create this recovery clinic was to keep the support and accountability alive and well. And so that's really helped me doing this show and, getting to connect with other people in recovery. I'm telling you, though, I was, I got to a little bit of a dark place. And guess what? What I love about recovery and the people in recovery is they always remind me of those basics, to get me back to my foundation. What's the best thing for me to do in those moments? Well, there's a couple of things. One is what you just said. Get out and get moving around. The worst thing I can do is sit in my bedroom under the covers, watching the news, playing on social media. That's only going to compound the negativity that I feel. So getting up and getting out, that was important. Getting outside and stretching my legs. One of the things that I do is run as well in exercise. The other thing, Jimmy, and this is where when I'm being self-centered, this is hard for me to overcome on my own. This is why we do this show. I acknowledge that I can't do this part on my own, and that's taking myself from being self-centered to God-centered. And I need sponsorship. I need mentorship. I need people in my corner that call me out on that and hold me accountable. That's part of the reason why we do this show. And so one of the things that I wasn't doing was getting into other people's stories. I wasn't really being of service. And so I was staying in my head and thinking about me. Well, that's a losing proposition. My mom was right. So what I started doing was, hey, how are you doing, man? Calling, checking in on people. Checking in on my clients. Like, what are you guys doing? What is there anything I can do for you? And slowly but surely, as I continue to do that, I get to start to feel better. I get more energized. When I'm of service, that fuels my recovery. It's just the way it is, and I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. But sometimes I convince myself that it's about me, right? And that's where I make the mistake.
Yeah, service work goes completely against anything addiction ever demanded of us. I've heard a lot of old timers refer to helping people and being of service as our best insurance policy against returning to use. Because addiction, like what you were just talking about, is so self-centered, right? Like self-obsession is the core of my disease. And so how do I best combat that? Addiction demanded that everything be about me, that what I want, when I want it, give me what I need right then. And being of service takes me all the way out of me and and goes completely against what addiction consists of. Because when I'm of service, it's impossible for me to be centered on myself.
Yeah, I love that. And so prior to recovery and in early recovery, I thought everyone's thinking about me. I thought everyone's, interested in what I'm doing, watching.
Well, we are. You're very charismatic.
And so I did, and I didn't understand that's self-centeredness.
Yeah.
No one had to explain that. I thought I was just concerned, or like you just said, charismatic.
Yeah, very charismatic.
Being self-centered is making things about me, right? And I was going to say something that you said, but it slipped my head. Let's bring Kyle Brewer's check in up there, guys. What we're doing right now is we're checking in. We're talking about things that that have been challenges, how we're overcoming some of these negative feelings and emotions that seem to be constantly circling us right now. There's a lot of uncertainty in our communities, in our world, and we're just checking in. How's everybody doing? And so, Kyle, I can't see all of that. Jimmy, can you see that?
Yeah, absolutely. It says some days are better than others for sure. The last few months have challenged me to grow in recovery and faith. Sorry about that, guys. Apparently, we lost connection. Kyle's it says some days are better than others for sure. The last few months have challenged me to grow in recovery and faith in some fresh new ways. My mental health has taken a toll due to isolation, and so I've had to be intentional about staying connected to my people.
I love that. Living with purpose. I used to have a guy that used to say, think about what you're thinking about, Chris. Think about what you're doing. What, pay attention. He talked about recovery on purpose, right? Where are your feet? Where are your feet moving? And he taught me this important lesson that once I get my feet moving in the right direction, my mind starts to move in the right direction. And then one day I wake up and I realize that my life is moving in the right direction. I thank you, Kyle, for bringing that up, because it's so important, because sometimes I think that I can, make everything happen first in my head. And that's not the way it's been for me. I've got to start moving in the right direction with my feet. And so a lot of times recovery is in our feet and what we're doing. And then our minds can, follow. I've got this crazy head, Jimmy, that says that, my head thinks it can kill me and keep living.
It might kill you, but that hair you got, it's going to live on.
It's going to go.
Yeah. Nothing in the universe can mess with your swoosh. Like your hair game is insane, bro. Maybe I notice it so much because I don't have it.
Maybe. Well, I'm looking at your beard. You should enter that thing into a contest.
Yeah. It's artificial. I glued it on. One of the things, Chris, that, dude, I hear parents email me all the time on the Jimmy McGill Live page, right? And they're like, help my son. His addiction has just got him. And I don't think that anything can be done. And that's a myth, man. There's no such thing as somebody being too far gone to find recovery. In fact, that's a lie, bro. Look, like what we were just talking about, a drunken bus ride. Look where your life is at. And I literally woke up in prison and put my brogans on, thinking I was going to Ho Squad. And they said, no, McGill, where's your stuff? You didn't pack your stuff. And I'm like, oh. So I pack my, go back and get my stuff. And all of a sudden I'm walking out to a van to go to a bus station, to a Kim Free house. And now look where my life is at.
Yeah.
So we have no clue what will happen if we stay sober and clean. And nobody is beyond restoration, Chris. Did people ever tell you that you were too far gone?
They didn't tell me straight away, but here's how they told me: by not, when people give up on you. People give up on you when they stop reaching out, when they stop talking to you. And I had a lot of people do that. That's the sad part of addiction is, it removes all of the people who care about me out of my life. And I'm part of the problem there. I say, they never wanted me anyway. And I consider myself a victim, and, I am this piece of junk. And so they're confirming that for me. And so that's that vicious downward spiral.
That's crazy how addiction makes you believe that you are the victim.
I know it.
And then we get in recovery and we learn that we were a volunteer.
Yeah.
I
know it. And I think about those times where people were really sincere reaching out to me for, to help me. And I wanted to say I need help.
Yeah.
But I couldn't.
Right.
I had to make them the enemy. I had to preserve my right to drink and use drugs.
Right. And blame everybody. Like this.
Don't even.
Yeah. Don't you even act like it's my fault that I got drunk and stole your stuff.
Yeah. Don't even act like it's my fault that, back in the days of Blockbuster and VHS tapes.
Right.
Don't even give me that late fee.
All right. I can remember sitting in the intake cell and blaming the PO for me being there because you drug tested me. Bro.
Yeah.
It is insane, the ability to not accept our responsibility in active addiction.
I mean, that is one of the, if not the most, destructive barriers to people in early recovery that don't get it. They cannot
Right.
accept new information about themselves. And that
Right.
goes with that goes with playing the victim. That goes with the blame-o-meter that I talk about sometimes, and things like that. Hey, I want to highlight Marty here real quick.
Bam, there it is.
Yeah, she says depression has honestly whooped me since December. I was hit by a diesel car hauler on the interstate, and it all began there. Since the pandemic, I struggled, but as you said, Chris, I'm back to the basics. 7 years of recovery taught me awareness. I'm clearly slow, but back stronger than ever. I love that, you know, when I don't even want to call it a test, but when life kind of blindsides us and we're going along, we're doing something, we're living life, things are okay, things are good, things are great, and then something happens, whereas before we would have went backwards and, went with something that's familiar, or we come back stronger than ever, like Marty says. Let's dive into that. Does that have something to do with the insurance that you were talking about? Does that have something to do with how strong your recovery foundation is? Because I had something happen when I was, one of my first attempts in recovery. Something really horrible, tragic happened, and I went backwards, and I ended up relapsing and returning to use over that. But then, this time I have, been sober since 2007. Lots of things have happened that I think previously would have, had me return to use. From the outside looking in, Jimmy, when you're seeing people, get stronger through adversity versus some people who struggle and go backwards through adversity, what do you think that is?
Man, I think my wife is real big on talking about the gift of desperation, right? Like when you hit that breaking point and you experience true desperation, and you never forget that last use, right? Like I will never forget, Chris, the second I woke up in Lonoke County, hopeless, broken, and I had truly just surrendered to the fact that my life was over, right? And so it was like, and so for me, I've never let go of that memory of misery. And so you're either going to grow or you're going to go. And so today, some of us in recovery with a solid foundation, right? And when I say a solid foundation, I'm not talking about your specific pathway. I'm talking about 4 critical areas: your health, your home, your purpose, and your community, right? As long as you are solidified with a solid connection to all 4 of those that you maintain daily, not 4 days a week and then 3 days I don't talk to my friends. That's not the way it goes. I've got to have that fellowship in my community. I've got to maintain good health. Recovery isn't just mental. And so many of us, when we get in recovery, Chris, we focus on the mental obsession and the physical compulsion, right? The disease of addiction. But the truth is, I was spiritually bankrupt. I was dead to God in my eyes, right? He was dead to me. So I have to recover my mind, my body, and my spirit. And that's why people like you and I, we run and we exercise, and my wife does CrossFit, right? Like it wasn't just our minds we drug through the mud; it was all of us, right?
And I like what you said about the gift of desperation, because it's taught me, I mean, I had to get to a point where I was willing to do something different, and one of those things was not trust in me. I mean, I had spent a long time hurting myself. And
more than you hurt everyone else.
Yeah.
You hurt everybody, but most of all you.
Yeah. And so learning how to lean into the fellowship has been the difference maker.
Right.
I don't care if it's talking about a job promotion or a death of someone in my family. I lean into the program because that's what I see successful people doing.
And so I want to jump in right there and tell the viewers that when you say fellowship, that's also the same community that I'm talking about. Now, if you're a church-based person, Chris is obviously talking about a 12-step program. But if you're a CrossFit person, your community is the CrossFit community. If you are a church person, the fellowship of the church is obviously your community. And so it's community, right?
Yep.
Fellowship community. I just wanted to jump in there. I loved
Oh
what
no,
you were
thanks.
talking about.
Hey, thank you so much, Michelle. She gave us the clap up at top, and she's giving us the.
Yeah.
So we
Michelle says,
appreciate you.
this is so awesome. I absolutely love what you guys are doing.
Well, we love what we're doing too, and we're glad that you're here to support us, because that's what it's all about. Speaking of the 12-step community, Jimmy, while I get ready to share this story, I want to, all the viewers that are listening, will you tell us if you're going to face-to-face meetings, or if you're still going online, or are you doing a blend? I personally am just still doing Zoom meetings. I found a really awesome website that gives you the option to go to meetings like at least once every hour, and it's been incredible. So tell me if you guys are going, how you guys are outside of the recovery clinic, how you all are maintaining your recovery. What are you doing? We want to know. So Jimmy, I got to share this with you. Yesterday, I went to this 12-step meeting, and the host was in South Africa. And
Nice.
yeah, and he went, when he opened up the meeting, he literally went around the room, and there was almost 100 people in this room, Jimmy, in this meeting. And he had everybody say who they are and where they're from. And when it was like 10 people in, I started getting selfish and self-centered. I'm like, I want to hear a share. We're going to be in here for the whole hour if everybody goes through and says all their places of location and their names. We don't have time for that. And
yeah.
I felt myself inside like just being really judgmental. And once I took the what's the phrase, the cotton out of my ears and put it in my mouth.
Yes.
I said the serenity prayer, and I got right sized, right? And I entered the room, because I was being a judgmental person. I was outside looking in. And when I became part of, something really, really special happened. I started to see what was going on here, and I started listening. And so after 50 plus people have said their name and where they're from, I'm talking about from Hawaii, Alaska, the Philippines, obviously South Africa, a lot of places in Europe. I started seeing that, we literally went around, not only around the room, we went around the world, and everybody in there was identifying and showing support for one another. What a fantastic team to be a part of.
Yeah.
What a great way. Like, I don't know. I hope everybody in the world has a connection like that. I know that's not true, but I'm so glad that we have that available to us, because I'm sitting there thinking, look, just little old me here in Arkansas is connected to all these people all over around the world, and we're going to share our stories, and we're going to connect, and we're going to support one another through this. And golly, man, I just got so grateful. I felt some tears welling up, and I just was so wonderful that we get to be a part of this if we want to. But I wanted to share that.
Yeah. Yeah, you're freezing up, Chris. Can you refresh your stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that was a great story. I love it. I love that. The fellowship is where it's at, my man. This is where we get down with the get down. I don't know what is going on with our connection. It says we've got full bars, but we are freezing on my screen.
I'm not seeing any freezing. I see you're making perfect sense to me.
I am.
Welcome, Jane Miller from Richmond, Indiana. We're so glad you're here. Michelle says she's going to RU Recovery. If you could please explain what that is in the chat. we can continue to discuss that. RU recovery. I want to know. I want to know.
So
Somebody.
I got a question. If you're viewing and you're from Arkansas, type in me in the chat box. So I got a question for everybody who's currently living in this state. Chris and I were talking about Lisa Skaggs said Chris is freezing. So we were just talking about, what it would look like to have a recovery awareness day, right? Like we always have every year, uh, you know, uh, a nonprofit that we're all connected with always has a recovery, addiction, drug and alcohol prevention and awareness event. But this year, we're thinking about having a recovery awareness event. And so if you're in Arkansas and we're in phase 2 and we were able to rent out a lake or something like a fun park lake, would all of you guys come and participate in that? And so I'm talking about real recovery awareness, a balloon release for those who have found recovery and sustainability in life, a music band, refreshments, water slides. How awesome would that be, Chris, if we had a Arkansas Recovery Awareness Day?
I can even try to hula hoop.
I got a better idea. Why don't you and I, like, as an attention to make it attractive for people, why don't Christopher Dickey and Jimmy McGill stand up on the water boards about 20 feet away from the docks and let people throw water balloons at us to see if they can knock us off?
How far is 20 feet? 20 feet's a good ways. I'll take that.
Yeah. And,
if we're talking about JD Skelton's arm, I think I'm going to be safe.
Yeah, JD couldn't skip a rock if it was a frisbee. You know what I mean?
Or JD.
Yeah. So
I see you, JD. I'm so sorry.
Okay. So
hey,
yeah.
But, I think that we put Kirk Lane out there on one of those boards too. In a dunk box, like Amy said. We dunk him.
So yeah, we would definitely bring out like Sheriff Staley again for the dunking booth. Right? Like people love trying to dunk the sheriff. $5 gets you 3 balls. I like because he arrested most of us, Chris.
It's a little bit of a payback.
Hey,
as long as it's regular water and you don't like sneak in some mustard or ketchup water, I think he'd be okay with it. Pie in the face is good. I'll take a pie in the face. I'm hungry.
I'm not, I don't know about a pie. Like, what if they don't let go of the and break my nose? Lisa Sutherland said, you guys do know that could be painful. It's a water balloon, Lisa. I mean, we're only going to get the right balloon hits you and you're going to fall off the paddle board anyway. You know what I mean?
Isn't that what it's about?
Yeah.
A little pain. You got to have a little pain to grow.
Sherry Stevens says, is there going to be a kickball tournament this year? Yes, there will be a kickball tournament of recovery versus law enforcement. And if you don't know, last year we kicked their butts.
Hey, at each base, are you going to have a hand sanitizer station?
No, but what we are going to do is we're going to check your temperatures on admission. And you'll have masks to wear out in the public part to kick. But once you're seated, were you being funny?
Sorry, I think Kirk Lane heard us talking about him. He just joined.
Oh, good. So that's the business. Listen, what we just decided, Chief, is we're going to put you on a paddle board on Arkansas Recovery Awareness Day, and we're going to push you out about 25 feet in the lake, and people are going to throw water balloons and try to knock you off the board.
Hey, actually, Jimmy, you know what they do? Like, they have these little. It takes like 3 people to do it, right? They've got 2 people holding one end of the bungee, and then they've got this little pouch that you put the balloon in, and you sling it back and let it fire.
Oh, a rubber band catapult.
Huh. Yeah, a water balloon cannon.
Hey, Kirk said Matt Matt Brooks will be standing in. Uh,
Oh, no.
yeah, that's great stuff. I just think that would be amazing. Like we always do the drug and alcohol prevention and awareness events, right? And we've done it 3 times. The last time we did it, Kirk Lane actually gave Chelsea an award for her dedication to recovery, and we did it at MacArthur Church. But this year, instead of drug and alcohol awareness and prevention, right? We know what the problem is. Let's put the spotlight on the solution, Chris. Recovery is the solution. Let's get everybody from AA, CA, NA, let's get the churches out. Let's get the community to buy in. Okay?
No, I agree.
If we do something like that in July, okay, that's like a month away, or even August. And then we come back and do the kickball tournament in November, which we've got to change because it's currently scheduled on the first week of deer season. So we'll have to change it to the next weekend. But like, that's getting the community. And honestly, Chris, uh, this is the time for us to show the kickball tournament needs to happen. Like law enforcement and recovery we need to show that I owe my life to a cop. I complied, I didn't resist, and I've got a great life today. I did get my butt kicked a few times, usually because I started it. And right now, the whole country is kind of turning on law enforcement. And so I think it's a really good time to try to bring these communities together.
Well, I think that going back to what Kirk was saying, is Matt as a stand-in. We can use. I mean, if Kirk wants to use Matt as his shield, that's fine. But once Matt gets hit, he has to go out, and then it's Kirk Lane right there in all his vulnerability, waiting to get hit by a water balloon. Also, Michelle, thank you for letting us know what RU Recovery is. Please go read the comment that she made. It sounds like a pretty interesting way to connect with recovery. Can't interfere with deer season, Lori. I have learned that the hard way, being from out of state. One of the only places on earth that I found out that there's an actual holiday in the state of Arkansas. No school on the first day of hunting deer season. So good point. We will take that into account. Recovery is peace. Yes.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Where were we at, man? Chris,
Jimmy has been and gave your testimony.
Yeah, that's at Oak Grove out there at the church. Chris, I will challenge you. Kirk has challenged you. The state drug czar has just challenged Chris Dickey to a hot dog eating contest.
Or a pie eating contest.
What kind of contest?
Hey, actually, you know what? You know what I would actually rather do, since we're on the lake and we're surrounded by water? Why not an oyster eating contest?
Ain't no oysters at the lake.
Oh, I mean, sure, but we can improvise a little bit.
Ain't nobody gonna eat no oysters. Oysters are nasty.
That's why, right? I mean, I'll eat oysters for free. I think they're wonderful.
I'm not eating no oyster.
So while we're talking about going out and having some fun at the lake and creating awareness for the solution of recovery in its many different forms, is anyone planning on going out on vacations here coming up in the summer? What are you guys doing? We want to know. We need some ideas. What are people in recovery going out and doing? Are you hitting the road? Are you going to Florida? Are you going to the West Coast? Are you going to see the beautiful the beautiful country?
Yeah.
What are you guys doing? Are you just staying at home and being local and, barbecuing? What are we doing for vacation? I mean, as things start to open up, which I'm getting the feeling, Jimmy, that, things are lightening up a little bit. Yes, we're still in the middle of this pandemic. There's a lot of things going on still. I just encourage everybody to follow those guidelines from the health professionals, and continue to do those things that give you safety. But what are we doing? We can't, we got to get out at some point, and so what are we doing?
Yeah.
Challenge Kirk to a fishing contest. Yeah. Matt, of course, would say something like that because he doesn't want to be the stand-in.
Yeah. Well, Kirk has challenged you to a water balloon duel, Chris.
So, that's where you start here and you walk the paces.
No.
And then turn around.
No. That's when you and Kirk.
Western duel.
Yes, you and Kirk are going to be 15 feet apart on paddle boards, standing up, which is already hard. And then you're throwing water balloons at each other's face until one of you fall in the lake.
That sounds violent.
Well, he used. I mean, it's a water balloon, Chris. It's going to hit somewhere. It's got. Maybe I just want to see y'all throw it at each other's face.
It sounds like it.
Let me quit.
Put the microphone down. You're gonna.
Bonnie says going to Gulf Shores in July.
Bonnie.
Yeah.
Bonnie's going to Gulf Shores in July. Didn't know about that.
Are there any in-person meetings at this time? I need to take my daughter. If you guys know of any in-person meetings, type them in the chat box for Sherry Stevens. Gulf Shores again. Let's see. Scott says, I'd go check out Scotty's church in Montana.
So back to the in-person meetings, if you go to, depending on what fellowship, if you go to AA Central Office, they have a list. You can click on the link called Find Meetings, and they have either your choice of in-person meetings being held right now and online. NA in other 12-step groups. You can also search Google and find out either by sending an email to the contact person or calling the phone number listed.
True that. What else we got, Chris? It's been a pretty good show, man.
Yeah, no, this has been great.
Yeah.
I appreciate everybody for checking in and sharing how you're staying sane and balanced in recovery during these uncertain times. And if you're not, if you feel like you're on the edge, if you feel like you're going to just lose it at any second, we're here for you. And we want to help you support and find the solution that you're seeking. We'll meet you where you're at. Just let us know.
Yeah.
There's no reason that you need to continue suffering. If you're out there and you're hurting and you're in pain, we've been having, fun during this episode, but right under the layer is we're dead serious about recovery.
Yeah.
And we understand that it's a life and death situation. So if you're hurting, please reach out.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Justin Works. I just seen you tune in. It's my guy. We done been through the ups and downs in recovery. We done argued. Yeah. I remember one time we almost fist fought out at a softball game, a recovery softball game. I wasn't even playing. I was just on the sideline talking crap.
That's when they usually happen. When I was playing slow pitch softball, it seemed like on Mondays is when all the fights would happen. And guess what was on Mondays? That was the church league.
Oh, you almost fought with the preacher. Bro, you go to hell for that. Just saying. I ain't fighting with no preacher.
I didn't fight.
Mm-mm.
I witnessed them, though.
And then this is Arkansas. You got some preachers that'll whoop your butt and then pray for you later.
Yeah, God made me do this.
Yeah, the good Lord said, I'm not your punk today. All right, man. Hey, listen, I love you, Chris. You about ready? We want to wrap up or we want to keep going or what's the plan?
I think we're good.
Yeah.
Everybody enjoy the rest of your day. Reach out to us on the Recovery Clinic if you need any help or just want to connect with us. Please like and share our page. We'll be back.
Yeah.
Friday at 6 p.m.
No, Wednesday, ain't it?
Friday.
I thought we was going to only Wednesdays.
When did we say that?
Okay. Well, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
We'll be there Friday at 6, and then
We'll tell you
we
what's
got an
going to happen from now
we
on.
have an announcement to make.
Yeah, we got an announcement this Friday. This will be the last Friday. You need to be tuned in.
Yes,
All
basically.
right. Listen, I love you, my man. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. If you want to follow your host in our personal recovery, our URLs are up there. Mine is Jimmy McGill Live. Chris's is 10th Second Chance, and that's pretty self-explanatory. And
Wait.
so yeah. Hey, listen, we love you guys. Thanks for making the show possible. And thanks for tuning in and sharing your recovery. And we will see you Friday night at 6 p.m.
Thank y'all.